Landscape photography can be an incredibly rewarding hobby and of great benefit to your health, both mentally and physically. But for the beginner, it can be equally frustrating. So in this short video, I'm going to share with you a few tips which will hopefully improve your landscape photography. Don't buy new gear, but get to know your camera inside out. I pretty much guarantee that whatever camera and lens combination you own at the moment will be perfectly adequate for landscape photography. So all you need to do is get to know how to use it inside out. Use a tripod. Not only does it keep your camera steady, which means you can shoot in low light situations with a lower ISO, but it also means that it will slow down your image taking process, which makes you think more, which improves your compositions. And really, it doesn't take that long to put up. Turn off auto ISO and manually select the ISO you want to use. As a general rule, set the ISO to your camera's base level, which is normally ISO 100 or 200, maybe 64. By doing this, you can maximise the colours and minimise the amount of noise within your image, overall improving image quality. Set your camera to Aperture Priority, and in that way all you have to worry about is how much of the image you actually want to be sharp. Use a low F number if you only want a little bit in focus, use a high F number if you want the whole scene in focus. Check your histogram. Once you've taken a shot, always check the histogram just to make sure that it's correctly exposed. What you're ideally looking for is an even distribution from the left, which is the darks, to the right, which is the whites of your final image. If it's grouped too far to the left, then simply use exposure compensation and add light. And if it's grouped too far to the right, so too bright, use exposure compensation and decrease the exposure, so taking away light. One way to consider it is that what you're trying to do is balance light. So just like you would with scales, take a little bit of light away or add a little bit more light if required. Shoot for the conditions. The biggest mistake I see photographers make is trying to work against the light. Always choose a subject which is ideal for your lighting conditions. So if it's a grey, overcast day, I recommend you head to woodland or maybe shoot some details at the beach. If it's bright and sunny, then by all means head to the hills and practice your mountain landscape photography. Consider the rule of thirds. If you're not sure what the rule of thirds is, it's worthwhile Googling, but it's a quick guide. When composing an image, you're looking at keeping your horizon either on the top third or the bottom third. So essentially 2/3 sky, 1/3 ground, or 2/3 ground, 1/3 sky. And then the next point is any main points of interest within your frame you want to try and put either on the left hand third or the right hand third. Basically, whatever you do, avoid putting your main subject smack bang in the middle of the frame. Although, as I once said to a teacher at school, rules are there to be broken. Get up early or stay out late. I just cannot stress how important light is for landscape photography, and in particular the quality of the light. There's a good reason why a lot of pro landscape photographers will only shoot during the golden hour, which is basically an hour after sunrise or an hour before sunset. Really, this is, out of all the tips I've given you, this is one that can make the most difference. And all it takes you to do is to set your alarm clock or simply to come out on an evening and have a walk with your camera.